Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to work on the last two quests for Tataru's Grand Endeavor. Last time I believe we worked on the quest that related to the Shadow of Warlit and the weapons. Yeah, they had the ruby, emerald, and diamond and all of them. And we got a nice picture with Gaius and his children, his adopted children, obviously. But let's not dilly-dally anymore. In this one, we should finish up the last quest line, or the last plot thread that we've been building on this whole time, where we were working on restoring a necklace for Tataru. Let's not dilly-dally anymore, and let's go talk to Medjina, and get started. Treasured bonds. Medjina seems eager to share something with you. Brilliant! I have wonderful news. Thanks to your tireless deliveries, we are overwhelmed with orders. Mistress Tataru's plan was a success. Of course it was, she's Tataru. If we didn't have Tataru, we wouldn't have the Scions. That's another shipment sent. I don't think I've ever packed so many parcels in my life. Who dis? I recognize him, but I don't know where he's from. Oh, he was probably in the... Yeah, I believe he was one of the people we saved in Garlemald when we returned there. Same with Medjina. Ah, my apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hasdad. Okay, yeah, it's Hasdad. Like many Hunnish refugees, I left my home in Palakistan and came to Sharlayan during the final days. You saved my life more than once. I've been working at Tataru's boutique with Medjina and Varsarud, albeit behind the scenes. It's rare that I have an occasion to visit the storefront. An unfortunate side effect of the constant demand on all our staff, though I think we would all agree that the hustle and bustle is for the best. But don't you wonder what we'll do once samples have served their purpose? Our equipment is crafted to last, which is wonderful, of course, but also means that our customers are not like to require replacements for some time. Therefore, if we do not constantly receive new customers, our good fortune will eventually sour, no? And that's why you have planned obsolescence. Mr. Tataru isn't so foolish as to have not anticipated such things. I'm sure she's already come up with new and exciting products to offer our existing clients. Actually, I had an idea of my own. For a new product, I mean. Tataru's an omni-crafter, she can just make whatever we need. In fact, I presented it to Mistress Tataru just the other day. A new uniform to outfit the academics and researchers of Sharlayan. Don't they already have their nerdy coats and glasses? What else do they need? Oh ho! How enterprising! And what did she say? Well, she seemed hesitant, which I could only interpret as reluctance to hurt my feelings with explicit rejection. But then she told me to look into it further and draft a formal proposal for review. That's not a bad way to shoot them down, because then it'll have the person actually go through and try and come up with a full plan, and then maybe they'll actually realize that the plan isn't as good as they thought it was when they initially thought of it. That's wonderful, Medjina. When she says to look into it further, did she mean for you to conduct some manner of market survey of the academics and researchers? Just so, but, well, some are involved in such sensitive work that simply approaching them is out of the question, which is to say, my petition to enter Labyrinthos was denied. Well, I happen to have access to Labyrinthos. Instead, I decided to try the studium, a secretarial mammoth was only too happy to schedule a meeting with an academic representative. But now that it's come down to it, I'm feeling ill with nerves. If it were on Mr. Tataru's behalf, it would be different. But this was my initiative, my idea. I'd offer you to accompany you, but I have to mind the counter. Excuses. Perhaps you could offer Magina your support. I could also go to Labyrinthos and do it for you. Oh, thank you. Can I come as well? I'd like to start thinking of what supplies we'll need for our artisans once the plan is approved. Of course. Very well, then, to the studium we go. Alright, looks like we're gonna be heading to the studium and seeing what they need, or want. So let's head on over there. We'll go ahead and take the Aetherite over to... Yeah, the studium has an Aetherite in front of it. I was thinking of the Numenon, which doesn't, and you have to run from the studium Aetherite. Yeah, you have to run over here. Let's see, where are they? Oh, they're over in the left area. I still need to finish up these quests. Or the, I forget what they call them, the studium delivery quests. Oh, they're not actually in the room. There they are. In Thavnair, a man of science is almost certainly a practitioner of the alchemical arts, but these scholars pursue all manner of disciplines, some less practical than others from what I've seen. Well, isn't that the truth? This building might well be a temple for how austere it feels. I'm glad I have your company. I was told a Ki Aliapo would be meeting us here. I'm sure they will be along shortly. Oh yeah, she's in the other room. She's the one that introduces you to the studium delivery quests, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there she is. Hello, representatives from Tataru's Boutique. Wait. Hello. Representatives from Tataru's Boutique, I presume. Oh, brilliant. What a pleasant surprise. Though, I suppose your presence should merit no shock at all, given the breadth of your generosity. But pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Magina, and I'm ever so obliged to you for making the time to speak with us. Ki Aliapo, at your service. No need to stand on ceremony, I assure you. Most of our academics are far more concerned with their research than pleasantries, admittedly to their detriment at times. Anyway, how may I help you this morning? Morning? Wonder if that changes depending on what time of day you start the cutscene. I'll need to note that down in editing. A uniform for our academics and researchers, you say. Don't they already have uniforms? I myself am ill-equipped to offer an authoritative opinion on the matter, so permit me to arrange some meetings with faculty representatives. Please make yourselves comfortable in the auditorium while I go and summon a few of our more personable personnel. Yeah, I didn't think she'd have the authority on uniforms. Because isn't she working with procuring stuff for, like, the lessons and stuff, like materials? Don't see too many old Lalas. Rather with old skin, or face. Well, in the Faculty of Archaeology, we spend much of our time... Trisping, I don't know what this is supposed to be, about ancient ruins, which often ends up ruining our clothes, if you'll pardon the pun. An outfit durable enough to handle extended use would be welcome, but it would need to be lightweight and breathable as well. Equatorial deserts can be most taxing, but then again, you'd be surprised just how many relics are hidden at the bottom of lakes, and northern waters can get quite chilly. As it stands, my colleagues and I throw on any old thing for our fieldwork, whatever we have on hand and is suitable for the conditions, with the understanding it may need to be disposed of afterwards. Funding for research equipment and the like is precious enough as it is, and we can't afford to have dozens of bespoke garments for every situation, which is probably not what you were hoping to hear, I realize. No, thank you for your candor. It's true. New kit can be rather expensive. We must ensure our prices stay affordable. Oh yeah, this guy, he was one of the, he's one of the ones that we helped in the studium deliveries. I think he was astronomy? Yeah, I think that's right. The ideal outfit, oh, obviously it is astronomers, of course. The ideal outfit for astronomers? Wait, Jerome mentioned something about fashion recently. When we were stargazing, what was it? "'Tis not the clothes that make the man, Jude, but the man that makes the clothes." Yes, very lovely and poetic, but I have the foggiest idea what it means. Right, in his storyline, Jude was the nerd who, like, wanted to do archaeology and stuff, and he was, like, reclusive, and then his friend Jerome tried to work really hard to make him be more, what's the right word? Personable? Like, have actually, like, go out and talk to people and make friends, and not just hole up looking at stars all the time, even though Jerome was just as passionate as Jude when it came to dealing with the stars and astronomy stuff. Well, I suppose we astronomers often conduct our celestial observations from locales remote and subsequently chilly. You know, mountaintops and the like. So, something warm? If warm is truly the only requirement, I think it's safe to say this is the opposite of an untapped market niche. Yeah, yeah. Warm is too general. Yeah, these are all the ones that are part of the studium deliveries. I don't remember if I've done hers or not. The Faculty of Medicine has strict requirements for dress on account of hygiene regulations. Fabrics that are resistant to stains and possess antibacterial properties are a must, for example. Additionally, we students of nutritional sciences must vigorously dart about the kitchen, so dressing for comfort is nearly as essential as cleanliness. And if I were fashionable enough to perhaps inspire others to follow in our footsteps, all the better. That might be useful. We might be able to tap on that. Yeah, and she was, her storyline was a little weird, where she ended up falling for the teacher, and, like, he's a male aura. Yeah, it's a little weird, but, like, both of them end up turning out to like each other like crazy, and it's cute, but it's also, like, he's a male aura and she's a hearer. So, yeah, that's a little weird. Anyway. We require no such clothing in the Faculty of Anthropology, where we make all that we require right here. Rather, Professor Tankin prefers to do so, that he may better understand how necessity begets innovation. I can't say I completely agree with the logic, though I suppose I've grown to appreciate his sense of aesthetics, now that the professor and I but that's a little bearing on your project. I wonder if that changes depending on if you finish the storyline or not, because obviously in the storyline they end up, I think she proposes to him, or he proposes to her, I forget. One of them proposes to each other, and they end up getting engaged at the end. So this, yeah, now that the professor and I are, yeah, I think that should change during the cutscene. I'll check it I'll check it when I edit this together. Kinda wish I had finished all the facets before I did this, but whatever. Or all the studium deliveries. An outfit and immoralities that... I know what this is supposed to mean, but I don't know how to pronounce that word. He wants to basically get rid of aether sickness. Without a doubt. You'd think we Faculty of Aetherology would have developed such an outfit by now, no? But alas, our primary projects demand every moment we possess. We cannot afford to divide our resources. I don't think we can help with that. Nope, we got one more. Oh yeah, okay, no, that was the last one. Well, how did it go? I don't know, to be honest. Everyone has such different preferences that I'm not sure if it's even possible to satisfy them all. Are you trying to satisfy them all? It sounded like you had at least one potential customer. A fair concern. The studio's faculties are filled with opinionated individuals, each with their own peculiarity. I think that actually might be correct. Additionally, our academics spend much of their time engaged in fieldwork as opposed to seminars, which further complicates stipulations of dress. In other words, we have our work cut out for us. Academics sound just as unique as adventurers know. They're all just a bunch of nerds, you know. Indeed, it was naive to assume that one type of uniform could account for the needs of all academics. Well, we had best return to the boutique. Thank you for your assistance, Mrs. Aliapo. I mean, I think we have something we can use from that, but I don't think we're gonna get the generic uniform that they were looking for. Well, obviously they're not. They just said that they probably couldn't. And I truly thought I had a good idea. You did. No doubt, Mr. Tataru knew its folly, but had me research it regardless, which is what I said at the beginning about having her go and telling her to go and investigate it on her own. That way it wouldn't just be shooting it down and be like, and have your boss shoot down. It's like when the boss shoots down all of your ideas and you think he's not giving you a fair chance. And then it's like, well, you can go and do your own research, but I don't think you're going to get very far with it. And that's exactly what Tataru did with her here. So that I might reach the conclusion on my own. She meant well, I'm sure. See how the hardships make you strong. I believe I've heard that expression before, but where? That's an important phrase to you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've heard that before. Perhaps in Thavner, it comes from the teachings bestowed upon us by the old gods. Many of us took comfort in the words during the final days. After we fled Palakistan, you may have heard it spoken then. Probably. I don't remember the cutscene. Oh, I guess it's just gonna show it, isn't it? Yeah, with her. When we call upon the divinities, it is not to beg for salvation, but for guidance. So long as we live by their teachings, there is no hardships we cannot overcome. This is the core tenet of Hannish faith that has seen us through much adversity since the founding of our nation. It is as you say, Hastad. Yet, until you did, it did not occur to me to consider how they might apply to my personal struggle. Coming to Sharlayan and working with Mr. Tataru at the boutique, I've met so many people from all sorts of cultures, but in trying so hard to accommodate their wants and needs, I fear my own heritage has become an afterthought. There is no shame in dedicating yourself to your work, and as we all have our limits, compromise and sacrifice are inevitable. It may surprise you, but once I aspired to become a steward. To look back on it now, it feels fanciful. Strange that we so easily let our dreams be cast aside by circumstance. I swore nothing would stand between me and my chosen path, and yet, here I am. I know the divinities will guide us wheresoever we go, but what if they stray too far? Would I be a fool to suggest that perhaps we should return to Thavnair? No, not really, actually. That's actually not a bad idea. But Mr. Tataru has done so much for us. Could it simply leave the boutique on a moment's notice? Maybe not, but over our family and friends. It is one thing for us to send money and well wishes, but I wonder if we could not do more if we are there, helping to rebuild. We haven't been back to the village since the final days, and if we're already forgetting our old lives, I don't know. I just think Mr. Tataru should know how we feel is all. Interesting, okay. Didn't expect that. Oh, okay, it's gonna tell me, report me right here. I'll talk to Magina, then his Dodd. I suppose I have been dedicating myself to work, but is this who I wanted to become? A Honish who has forgotten her culture? Varasud says Mr. Tataru should be stopping by soon. When I asked how she felt about returning to Thavnair, she said she needed time to consider. For my part, at least, I think consulting Mr. Tataru will help put my mind at ease. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, the thing is, Tataru's like a reasonable boss, so like, actually talking to her would be helpful. My, what a busy counter we have this morning. Asdod, it's good to see you out from behind your usual shipping crates. Yes, I thought I'd come help Magina with her research. We've just returned from interviewing academics at the studium. About that, Mr. Tataru. So, like, I don't think there's a good market here. Suffice it to say, the requirements were all radically different. I know I set a uniform for researchers and academics, but I'm afraid I may have deeply overestimated the feasibility of such a project. I mean, that's called a learning opportunity. And that's perfectly alright. The important thing is to learn what you discover. Learn from what you discover so you can retain and apply that knowledge as you continue your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, yeah, it's called learning from your mistakes. The right idea for a new product will find us when it's ready. In the meantime, I have more samples in need of delivery, and seeing as Brilliant is very conveniently standing within my line of sight, better pan over. Oh no, it's not gonna pan over. A thousand pardons, Mr. Tataru, but before you continue, I wish to speak with you about a personal matter. You have shown us incredible charity, which makes this all the more difficult to ask, but I wonder if I should return home to Thavnair. Please do not mistake this as dissatisfaction with our arrangement. If anything, I've grown so accustomed to life in Charlian that I fear I've begun to forget myself, my dreams, my faith, the people I used to be the person I used to be before I came here. Not only that, in spite of my regular remittances, I worry that our village struggles to rebuild after the final days. While I live happily removed from a burden I ought to share more. It feels disingenuous. To both my home and my kindness you continue... To both my home and the many kindnesses you continue to show us. I see. And do you both feel the same? I've been so devoted to my work that I haven't given much thought to returning until Hasdad mentioned it, but to claim that I am not worried about the village would be a lie. While I am of similar mind to Magina, I must nevertheless remain here. Among other reasons, there's a project I'm resolved to complete right with the necklace. That guy's still on the ground, on his knees there. would be very sorry to see any of you go, but if remaining here causes you grief, I'll spare no effort to see you safely home. Which is why I've decided that our next set of samples shall be delivered to Palika's stand. That's a twist. Furthermore, I ask that those who wish to visit accompany Brillian on her errand. Seeing how your village fares is no doubt the best thing for you both right now. It will help you understand your feelings, after which we may proceed however you desire. And should your colleagues require it, I'm sure you can be relied upon to dispense the perfect advice. Yeah. Sure. Mangina, Hasdod. Give everyone my regards. Then it's settled. I'll begin preparing the samples at once. Allow me to assist. No matter what happens, we must finish Mr. Tataru's necklace. Are we ready to proceed with the restoration, do you think? I dare say we have enough additional materials, thanks to Brillian's dedication, of course. As for the work itself, I thought we could entrust it to the lapidary mistress but Tataru once apprenticed with. Huh. Is this gonna be the Goldsmith Guild person? I'm sure that will mean a lot to Tataru. I'll sort things out. I was sort of hoping that I could do it. I wonder if this option appears if you don't have not jewel crafting, goldsmithing high enough. Let me see what this gives me. Ever so eager to contribute. Fear not. I have an especially important job for you later, if you'll pardon the mystery now. Let's leave the necklace to Varsuit's capable hands and join Hasdod in Scholar's Harbor. Yeah, for some reason, like for a second I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just have to do it myself. Then I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a crafting quest. Anyway, let's go ahead and head on down to Scholar's Harbor. So it's, okay, it's a little bit over past the 8th, right? Just a short jog over. Yeah, this is the right direction. Alright, you two? You two ready to go? I never imagined we'd get the opportunity to return so quickly. I hope everyone is doing well. Well, considering I've, like, helped them a lot, I think they're doing just fine. I remember when we first set foot upon these docks. After a long, exhausting journey from the frozen wastes, after surviving those horrid beasts, Mr. Tataru was a warm beacon of light. Bacon. I mean, what? Working at the boutique has helped us to rebuild our lives, but I will never forget that feeling of powerlessness. Should I have stayed in Palika's stand and tried to defend my people? Was I coward to flee? Is it betrayal to my home and to myself to remain here? I can't stop thinking in circles. Anyway, I'm glad for this opportunity to better understand where my heart truly lies. All will be well, I'm sure, but we must be off, lest we miss our connecting flight. Yeah, you know, flight. So it's going to take us all the way to Thavnir, or is this going to... Where's this going to take us? Okay, the airship. Okay. Oh, and they're in the different clothes now. Right, because those are, the outfits they had on before are for more cooler climates. Obviously, this is a more tropical climate, so they're gonna need to wear some, they're not gonna be wearing a wool. Not gonna be, I guess let's see, yeah, it would probably be wool. How I've missed the smell of spice and this warmth. Haha. We're back. We're truly back in Thavnair. Why, was Ratted always this grand? Can't believe we lived so close yet so rarely made the trip. Do you remember how it was? Village duties always kept us all too busy to travel. Defending pilgrims was trying enough for the stewards, even before the final days. I wonder how many temple roads are still traversable. If even those in Radzid struggle to travel for worship, our feelings of estrangement may be more common than we think. Since we've come all this way, would you mind terribly if Asdod and I toured the city on our own? Let's plan to meet in Palakistan anon. Now, I wonder if they're actually, you can like find them in the city at this point. So right now it just says to go to Palakistan, but I'm gonna run around just a tiny bit to see if I can find them. At least I'm just gonna teleport each of the Aetherites and do a cursory look around. See if I see them somewhere. Of course, they're wearing orange, so hopefully that'll help me see them if they're actually around. I kinda doubt they are, but it would be interesting. Okay, nope, nothing here. Yeah, they totally just go to the bar. They're not actually going on a tour, they just want to get drunk. Yeah, nope, nothing there. Again, I highly doubt I would be able to find them. Let's see, nope, not here. I mean, the most likely place they would be in the center or in the markets. I'll just look down the alley, see if I can see them. I don't see any orange, so... yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go out and head on over to Palakistan. I guess I should just teleport, shouldn't I? Be slightly faster. Let's see, they're up here? Oh, there we go, there's destination. Wait, a convenient destination. There they are. Home at last. Yes, home. I can finally breathe again. Come, let's find the Elder. Let's go and find the Elder. Elder, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. Astad, Mangina, how wonderful it is to see you. I have been so worried. Tell me, how is life in Shardian? Are you being treated well? Oh yes, Elder. Our employer, Mistress Tataru, is the kindest businesswoman, in fact. She arranged for us to accompany Brilliant on her errand, so we might enjoy some time at home. That is very good of her, indeed. I'm relieved to hear you are being looked after. You are ever a guardian to our people. Thank you for seeing these children safely home, of course. Now then, what is this errand you speak of? Like, you want to buy some clothes? How splendid! Our stewards shall put these to good use, you may be assured. could repay your generosity with something even half as marvelous. Alas, ours is a village of little extravagance. Everything seems as ever it was. Indeed, with the support of the Radiant Host and the funds you and others have sent, we have regained much of the peace we once knew. Thank the sisters. Still, there is something I wish to speak with you about, Elder. You're worried your heart grows distant from Thavner, that you have wandered too far from home. But my child, it is only right that you should wander, that you should roam. Your heart's connection endures, no matter where you go. You yet think of us fondly enough to visit, yes? And send us what gil you can spare, do you not? Gestures, perhaps, but not true commitment. Should I not be here with all of you, working to restore our village? There is no restoring our village, Hasdad. Without those we lost, Palakistan will never be what it was. That's a good point. We must instead do all we can to become a new village, with a new future ahead of us. Although the particulars of our path are not yet clear to me. How so? Ours has always been a settlement of stewards, as will you know, tasked with the protection and preservation of Thavner's sacred sites. But we have seen our roads shaken and temples defiled by beasts. The material is not always within our ability to protect. What is everlasting is our faith, the bonds between our people and the divine. Through the old teachings, we remind ourselves of life's meaning. Interesting, okay. Yet, if we wish to ensure our traditions endure for generations to come, should we not strive to do more than maintain our temples until pilgrims deign to visit? Ah, but I do not wish to tire you with an old man's musings. Surely there are other ways of ensuring our people remain connected to their heritage and faith. All we need is the right idea, something new our village could offer. Well, my words seem to have inspired you, and with the worldly insights you have gained, I'm sure any future you envision for Palakistan will be nothing short of remarkable. But there is no need to rush. Take your time to speak with the others and make yourselves at home. I guess it makes sense for us to have some Endwalker things. There wasn't any trial series in this one. Actually, no, wait, they weren't doing all trial series because they did the Alliance Raid series for the Heaven's Ward 1. And they did the Four Lords, which is the trial series in Stormblood. And then they did the Shadow of Wurlit, which is the trial series for Shadowbringers. So it's just, they need to do something for Endwalker to do for the last quest. And this actually works out because we haven't really got... We helped Palakistan in some other quest lines, but not as directly... Not quite like this. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to the Elder, and then talk to Magina, and then Hasdad. Yeah, more precious than Gil is the next quest, I believe. Yeah. Palakistan is charged with the preservation of Thavner's divine teachings. Our methods to accomplish this must naturally change with the times. How else can the village help to strengthen our people's connection to their faith? Can you, like, make, like, idols and stuff? No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't work at all. Anyway, more precious than Gil, Hasdad is deep in thought. How foolish I was to think the answer would be so simple. I would come home, roll up my sleeves, and help restore our village to the way it was. I would find fulfillment. It's not usually that easy, bro. Alas, not all that was lost can be reclaimed. Our people face new struggles. Our people face a new struggle, but perhaps by discovering new ways for the village to fulfill its duty, we might yet help our community. Exactly! Like the elder said, surely our experiences in Charlian have given us a unique perspective. Yeah, like a merchant's perspective. Not to mention Brilliant's extensive knowledge of the world. I'm sure that, between the three of us, we can come up with a brilliant plan to support Palika's stand. Sounds good to me. Yes, you're right, and I'm sure that hearing how everyone fares will give us insight as well. Okay, so I gotta pick them up and talk. Let's see, is there anything? Okay. If you think of any ideas, we would be glad to hear them. I think I gotta pick up Asdod, and then we're gonna run around with Endwalk or following mechanics. Not a soul here will ever forget the hero of Palika's stand. I'm sure everyone will be just as eager to speak with you as us. There are also others with whom I'd like to speak, once we've finished here. Of course, we mustn't forget to pay our respects. Start accompanying you, yeah. Alright, let's see, let's start with this person. Carity? Sure. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that beautiful equipment you delivered to the Elder. As a weaver who crafts armor for our stewards, I would love to hear more about its origins. Well, you see there's this person named Tataru. You don't want to get on her bad side. Created in cooperation with guilds from across the world. Oh, I must have a closer look. The final days exposed the limitations of my skills. Traditional Thavnarian techniques alone do not suffice. I'm eager to hone my craft by studying the work of foreign artisans. Although in my weaker moments, I often wonder if purchasing armor for our stewards would be the superior solution. Alas, that would require a surplus of coin, as well as available products, so we're gonna end up helping them to sell their products or something like that. As a village sustained by donations and remittances, we would be hard-pressed to afford anything so expensive, even if such supplies were to venture this deep into the jungle. Yeah, you're not going to be buying anything, but you just talked about being able to make stuff. So maybe... Oh, it's up here. Hello, Paula. Oh, hello there. Staying here for a while, or just passing through? Our recovery has been slow but steady, though I am concerned for those who will still struggle with wounds our healers cannot cure. The final days may have passed, but grief and trauma are not so easily overcome, or ever, for those who must accept them as constant companions. Ours is a tightly knit community, but I worry for those in the capital and abroad. I imagine it is difficult for them to honor the old teachings as they labor far from home. So many of us fled during those dark times. If only we could bring the comforts of community to all Honish. Alright, that's 2 out of 3. Go talk to the third one. Is it up in the house here? No, it's over here. Hello. I was about to say young boy, but that's an old lady. Virabon? If it isn't Hasdad and Magina, accompanied by our savior, no less. Welcome home, welcome home. True, we're a bit short-handed these days, but we managed nevertheless. While there's a happiness in being reunited with our young ones, we're just as happy knowing that they are walking their own path, no matter where it leads. I remember Hasdad couldn't wait to become a steward when he was little, but as far as I'm concerned, sending aid from afar is just as praiseworthy as tending to the temples here. Times are changing, and who is to say that this cannot be a form of stewardship? A steward who supports the village from afar? I never even considered the possibility. Clearly. Seeing everyone so eager to help one another makes me more determined than ever to contribute. But before anything else, shall we go? Let's. It'll be good to visit. To Perusa then. Could we ask you to accompany us? The temple roads are perilous, and your presence would be a great comfort. Sure, except you're probably going to teleport away. Oh, no, you're not. That's surprising. Oh, looks like I had to go all the way down there. Okay. Let's head over to this talking point. Okay. Let's see what they have to say. Discuss the Shroud of Semgod. I never used to give much thought to those who walked these roads before me. Countless pilgrims who risked their lives for faith. Aware of the dangers ahead, they pressed on. So strong was their devotion, so sacred the tradition. 'Tis a perilous path you walk, so it is written, and so too our forebears must have felt when braving these jungles to reach what would become our beloved home. When I was little, we used to run through these wilds, playing steward and imagining fierce battles with his hideous beasts. Got the scolding of a lifetime when our parents found out. Yeah, that sounds about right. But when it really happened, when the sky turned red and the jungle spewed forth unspeakable horrors, I could do nothing but cower. Perhaps that's why I feel so guilty for not returning. For not doing more. Even if it may never be enough. But this time, I will rise for the occasion. Like, that's just usually how it is. People say that they're gonna be all brave and strong during times of strife, and then they end up, like, not being able to do anything. Which, to be honest, is a normal reaction. It would be abnormal if they weren't scared. Yep, here are the ruins. It's been a while. Yes, but we made it. I'm home, mother, father. Here at Perusa, we may commune with the spirits of the departed. Neither Magina nor her parents survived the final days. I told them about how you saved us and that we're doing well. I know they will rest easier for it. May the next time we visit be to deliver glad tidings from Palakistan. Though I was relieved to find the village in a better state than I had feared, it seems there are still issues we might help address. Finding a steady source of income, for instance, so the stewards can be properly outfitted without overwhelming our weaver. I was also troubled to hear that those who continue to struggle without the support of a local community. There must be some way to provide respite. Yes, indeed. The question is, what? Do you have any thoughts? Nope, head empty, no thoughts. Ask yourself, what would Tataru do? Never underestimate the power of partnership. Expand your horizons, think big. Yeah, let's go with that. Think outside the village, you mean? I suppose that would mean foreign involvement of some kind. Oh, what about a partnership between Palakistan and Charlian? Or, more specifically, the boutique? I think you're onto something. If the boutique sold the wares the village produced, for instance, our people would have a reliable revenue stream. And then we'd be able to take our 10% commission or whatever. But what can Palakistan offer? And to whom? Well, didn't you just say that you had a weaver? What about tours? How about amulets and talismans? Actually, you know, that's actually what I said, and then I'm like, no, it can't be that. That's literally what I said before. I don't know if it was in the previous quest, at the end of the previous quest or not. But like, I started to say that, and then I'm like, no, that would be like, not right. But then it's like, well, clearly I was on to something. Or images of the deities. Something simple, created with love for our homeland and our faith, so no one forgets or feels forgotten. I like that. Our temples were created in remembrance of our ancestors and the divine teachings, but reminders needn't only take the form of great works. A small keepsake may be just what our scattered brethren need to reassure themselves that they are still members of the community. This could be the answer we're looking for. I can't wait to tell Mr. Tataru. That sounds good to me. Rather, I can't wait for you to tell Mr. Tataru, Mangina. It was your idea, after all. Pa, a team effort, let us say. I certainly couldn't have come up with it without you and Beryllian. If our proposal is approved, Mr. Tataru will no doubt need assistance in Charlian. I am ready and willing to provide it. But what about you, Hastad? What will you do? I too will return to the boutique. One day I will come home to stay, but for now, I wish to do all in my power to help our village thrive. I'm relieved to hear you say so. Let us go and consult with the elder about our plan. What are the elders gonna think about it? Because like the first thing I thought when I thought about like the amulets and stuff was that like they would think it was like sacrilege or something, but like apparently that's not the case. All right, let's talk to Hasdad and Mangina first. I was lost in a fog, unable to find the path forward. But Mangina's brilliant idea has given me the clarity I needed. I know now what I must do for myself, and for my people. If Elder, not gonna pronounce that, gives us his blessing, all that's left is to present our proposal to Mr. Tataru. Wonder what he's actually gonna think about it. I hear you were kind enough to escort these children to Perusa. There's two U's and S-A, okay. Again, you have my gratitude. Are you feeling any cleaner for it? Clearer. Are your feelings any clearer for it? I think so. Mangina and I talked it over, and we believe we have struck upon a new way the village might support our people. Tangible mementos of faith? An interesting proposition. Many here would be glad to create such reminders. I expect those unable to perform strenuous labor would be especially grateful for our opportunity to contribute to the prosperity of our village, to say nothing of the options those additional funds would provide. But most importantly, we would be able to help those who have chosen to live apart from us feel that much more connected to the community and their faith. I'm proud to have you both discovering such an innovative way to do so. Yeah, they did a pretty good job. It would likely mean Hasdad and I will stay in Charlian for the foreseeable future. Then take with you the knowledge that no matter what your journey takes, where your journey takes you, our hearts will always be as one. May the sisters guide you. We'll come back again, I promise. In the meantime, we shall see our plan to fruition. I will send word once we've determined the particulars. Right then, Charlian awaits. So are they gonna teleport me back, or am I gonna have to pay for the flight? Yep, I'm gonna have to pay for the flight. To think those two were once mired in all-consuming sorrow. I can hardly recognize them now. I'm sure I have you and their Charlene benefactor to thank for their recovery. Please extend my warmest regards to this Mr. Tataru when next you meet. Sounds good to me. Let's head on over to, it looks like the Agora, actually. Oh, okay, that's the Agora. I was thinking, in Labyrinthos here, I was thinking, Aporia. But yeah, let's head on back to Charlene and wrap this up. Or I think this is going to be near the end. Because we actually still have to give the necklace to Tataru as well. Okay, yep, let's head on over. There they are. They got back in their coats. Even for our suit likes our idea. Here's hoping Mr. Tataru does as well. Brilliant! The necklace is back from Lapidary. He had nothing but fond memories of Mr. Tataru and was eager to pour his everything into the restoration. The result is magnificent. The original sapphire, accented with the black pearl from the Ruby Sea and rose shell from Wurlet, united by a length of maki leather, a singular necklace symbolizing Mr. Tataru's past and present. By the sisters, what a remarkable gift! However, it wants for a finishing touch. What else can we get for it? Preferably by your hand, Brilliant. And after hearing about your visit to Palakistan, I know just the thing. In short, we'll be proposing a new line of products to help our people feel closer to their roots, yes? So, in honor of Mr. Tataru's roots, I would like you to inscribe the symbol of Nalthal upon the back of the pendant. Ha, that's fitting. It would be my honor. With painstaking effort and unwavering focus, you engrave the symbol of the traders onto Tataru's necklace. Any who behold it will surely know, beyond a shadow of doubt, that this final flourish was the product of your heroic hand. You know, I just used my axe to engrave it. I'm sure she will adore it. I'm sure she will adore it. Our work is officially done. Now, what's Magina over the side doing? I've just received word from Mr. Tataru. She should be arriving in the Scholar's Harbor soon. Let's go and meet her there. Hello, Thaliak. There she is. I wasn't expecting a personal escort from the docks, though I dare say I could grow accustomed to it. How was your time in Palakistan? Did you find it worthwhile? Yeah, we actually got this great idea about selling stuff from them, that imported from them. So while they do have interest in our equipment, matters of recovery are their greater concern at present. Recovery, yes, but also growth, which may lead to lucrative opportunity for the boutique, if you'll permit me to suggest another new product. What if we offered handicrafts designed and produced by the people of Palakistan? Authentic works representative of Hannish culture. For those of us living abroad, reminders of home would do wonders to ease feelings of estrangement, and for others, such pieces would be appreciated as beautiful works of art. Our village is up to the task. You will not be disappointed. Doubt not their conviction, Mr. Tataru. A product that embodies Thavner's spiritual beauty, to be shared with the whole world? Why, the boutique should offer nothing less. Though we've made a wonderful progress with our samples, I believe it's time for a change of pace. And handicrafts born from heartfelt desire to celebrate one's culture is bound to resonate with others. Given her eagerness, I presume Agina intends to stay and help facilitate this new venture. But what about you, Hasdad? You felt the call to return to Thavner rather more strongly, as I recall. Why is she still looking at Agina when she says that? Yes, well, after talking with everyone at home, I've realized that living apart from them does not mean I must forsake my childhood dream of service. I believe I can best serve my people by staying in Charlian and continuing to work at the boutique, if you'll have me. With pleasure, Hasdad. He was worried. Mr. Tataru, if I would not be untoward, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for everything you've done for us. Not untoward at all. Rest assured that I graciously accept all offerings of praise and adoration, especially those as fine as this. But how queer. This sapphire looks remarkably like the one my... Brilliant. Is this my mother's sapphire? Hers, so now rightfully yours. I hope we haven't overstepped our bounds. Look, I put the symbol of Nalthal on the back. No. It's hers. It's really hers. Never in my life did I imagine I'd see this jewel again. It was part of a family heirloom. When my mother was married, she received it from her mother. How her eyes sparkled when she spoke of one day giving it to me. I'll never forget. But when father's business failed, we lost everything, and that was the last I saw of it. Though your heirloom did not survive in its entirety, Master Pippin managed to recover the sapphire. From there, we collected parts from clients during sample deliveries and commissioned the necklace you now hold. The face. Now that I think of it, Brilliant often did receive mysterious gifts on those visits, so that's what it was all about. That's what it was about. Time after time, I'm reminded that a fortune in coin promises only a fraction of what a wealth of friendship provides. When my family lost its last gil, I became a lapidary's apprentice, and that's how I met a certain miner named Minfilia. Any more Tataru lore? Yep, and then the Scions. We hit it off instantly, chatting every time she brought in gems for appraisal. And then one day, she came not with her usual haul, but with an invitation to join the Path of the 12. The rest, as you say, is history. Yeah, the Path of the 12 is a 1.0 version of the Scions, I believe. One serendipitous meeting that led to so many others, that led to so many incredible adventures. That saw a poor little girl reunited with a precious memento. Our teachings say that there is more ugliness than beauty in this world. To live is to suffer. But we never need to suffer alone, and what is more beautiful than the bonds we share with others? Indeed, it is these connections that give us meaning to our lives. Connections for which I too am grateful, and thus compelled to advise that we return to the Agora. The counter remains unmanned, and we mustn't neglect our clients. Of course not. Business is important. There's something I was thinking of there, but whatever. Quite right, quite right. Back to work with the lot of us. We've got new products to plan. Alright, that was nice. Got to see a little bit more Tataru lore. I don't know if I don't know if they actually, if like her Minfilia recruiting Tataru was in 1.0, or if that was pre 1.0. Either way, I'd like to Hasdod and then Magina and wrap this up. No doubt, we will be even busier in the days ahead, but if our village prospers, then it will all be worth it. Brilliant! On behalf of the entire boutique, allow me to thank you for all you have done. I'm ashamed to admit that our excitement to prepare Mr. Tataru's surprise, Vasarud and I failed to prepare something for you. And that sounds like a cue from Mr. Tataru, mwahaha! Very soon, Brilliant here will no doubt embark upon another journey to the corners of the world unknown. And she is, as she is wont to do, well yeah, I'd say so. So to wish you all in making new friends, and to remind you of those who will always hold you in their hearts, I have prepared bespoke chocobo barding, crafted with love by one Tataru. I forgot to actually look at what the rewards for this. All I saw was that there was a, what's the right word? A portrait frame. That's what it is. Apparently you get a chocobo barding as well. I dare say the boutique will be embarking upon its own adventure in the coming days. And with true adventure invariably comes tribulation. But with your compassion, resourcefulness, and reliability, I have every confidence that we shall succeed in our respective endeavors. To ever higher returns of both coin and camaraderie. Oh, and don't think just because you're running off to the other side of the world that I don't intend to solicit your future involvement, Brilliant. What? You won't escape me that easily. All besides, she just have Kryl track me down or something. Both Estinian and I know we can't get away from Tataru. Alright, yeah, you get the Wayfarer's Barding and the Bespoke Framer's Kit. Alright, that wraps up Tataru's Grand Endeavor. Let's go ahead and grab both of these. I actually expected the necklace to be a little bit more, different than it was. I don't know, it just seemed a little underwhelming to me. Although it was nice to get some more Tataru lore. But that's all we're gonna be doing today. The last thing we have left for 6.55 is the Hildebrand quests. So we'll go ahead and do those next week. I'm still not doing Sunday streams. I'll probably start doing them somewhat soon. Trademark somewhat soon. I don't know when that'll end up being. But the only thing we have left for 6.55, like I said, is the Hildebrand quests. But that's going to be all for today. And until next time, goodbye.